chapter of which one? Photosynthesis, है ना? And in that chapter yesterday, at the end, we saw something called as what are the different factors that affect photosynthesis, है ना? So in that particular content, we had seen that there is something called as extrinsic factors and intrinsic factors which are going to be associated with the well-being of the plant. So in that reference itself, we are going ahead with the new chapter, that is plant growth and development. But before I go ahead with that chapter, first thing which I would like to know is anyone having any difficulty in yesterday's cycles that we have seen, that is C4 plants का cycle, CAM pathway and photo respiration. चल किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पहले बोलो वो, उसके बाद ही मैं आगे बढ़ती हूँ. No doubts to anyone. I'll tell you what I'll tell you what this is 11th or 12th. I'll tell you for 1 minute. First, let me ask what is the difficulty in the earlier previous things that we have done. No difficulty. Can anyone quickly give me a recap of C4 pathway? कोई बताएगा मुझे C4 pathway? Hands raise कर दो बेटा. Come on, C4 pathway. PEPA plus CO2 वाला pathway. Come on, come on, come on. I want at least someone to tell me. Only one hand up. Samiksha, try. Come on, try. Go ahead.
PEPA utilizes carbon dioxide under the presence of PEP carboxylase to form oxaloacetic acid. Then it moves from mesophyll cells to bundle sheath cells, where it converts to malic acid.
First, it will convert to malic acid, then malic acid will move from the mesophyll to the
Moves the
bundle sheath.
mesophyll cells to bundle sheath cell.
Correct.
Then malic acid will undergoes oxidative decarboxylation. That is, it will release hydrogen as well as carbon dioxide.
Excellent.
Where carbon dioxide enters into Calvin cycle, and hydrogen is converted in hydrogen is utilized by NADP to form NADPH2.
Excellent. Then what will be remaining? Pyruvic acid will be remaining.
Pyruvic acid will be remaining, which enters back into the mesophyll cells.
Correct.
And it gets enolated to form
pyruvic acid or PEPA, as we call it. Phosphoenol pyruvic
and it
acid.
utilizes to ATP.
Very good, beta. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very nice, Samiksha. Very good, very good. Yeah. Now, can anyone tell me how many ATPs are going to be used up in C4 cycle, and how many NADPH2 are going to be used up in C4 cycle? Just the numbers. कितना ATP और कितना NADPH यूज होने वाला है C4 में? चलो, raise your hands. In C3 we saw 18 ATP and 12 NADPH2. Likewise, how many in yeah, 30 ATP is correct. Those who are answering 30 ATP, it's correct, beta. Total 30 ATPs will be used. And how many NADPH2 will be used? 12 NADPH2, correct. Zero नहीं बचा. Zero मतलब extra कोई नहीं बनता है. Zero मतलब it's not going to be extra that you have to be utilized. जितना C3 में यूज होता है उतना ही C4 में यूज होता है. Therefore, it's going to be 12. So 30 ATP and 12 NADPH2 are going to be used in C4 cycle. Correct. Then what was next? Yeah. Can anyone give me the short mantra that I gave you for C2 cycle? C2 cycle के लिए मुझे कोई मंत्र बोलेगा वो क्या है? हैंड रेज करो बच्चा. मैंने आपको कल एक छोटा सा मंत्र दिया था पढ़ने के लिए. शॉर्टकट बोला था मैंने. Yeah, Sarah, you can go ahead, beta. Sarah Dias, you can unmute yourself. Sarah, your hand was raised. Yeah, go ahead, beta. Unmute yourself. Yeah, Ishita, you're right with your answer. Okay, correct. Perfect. Sarah, you have raised your hand. Unable to unmute yourself. Okay, Komal, go ahead.
Science Cercerate PGA.
Very good. Coxycyne Cercerate PGA was the thing which I had given you yesterday. Is it so difficult? Your mic isn't working. Okay, no problem. Is it so difficult? It was so simple. Coxycyne Cercerate PGA. That's it. Okay. Then I had given you a difference between mesophyll cells and bundle sheath cells in C4 pathway. There were 4 differences, if I'm not wrong. So accordingly, I'm just asking the question. What about the presence of grana? So grana present किधर है? Grana absent किधर है? Come on, who will tell me this? Grana present in dash, grana absent in dash. Come on, this was so I gave you literally in writing. Viva, okay. Viva, go ahead.
Grana is present in mesophyll cells and absent in bundle sheath cells.
Very good. Perfect. So simple. Yes, you all are giving me the answer in writing. Some of you all are correct. है ना, chat box में तुम मुझे answers दे रहे हो. That is correct, no doubt. Then Rubisco कहाँ present है और Peppa कहाँ present है? Come on. I want someone to give me the answer. Where is Peppa present and where is Rubisco present? Who would like to answer this? Raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll have to catch hold of you. If you all don't raise your hand, then I'll have to catch hold of you. So it's better that you raise your hand if you know the answer. Why are you not raising your answer? You all are giving me the right answers. Huh? Okay, you all are giving me the right answers, but then why you don't want to speak up? Hmm? Okay. If you all don't want to answer.
Ma'am, Rubisco is present in the mesophyll cell, somewhat like that.
Yeah, who is in mesophyll and who is in bundle sheath? You all are right, beta. Few of you all are writing the answers. So you all are right that in mesophyll cell, Rubisco is absent, but Peppa is present. And in bundle sheath, Peppa is absent and Rubisco is present. है ना? So this is what yesterday in writing I have given you. कौन किधर present है, कौन किधर absent है, तो please एक बार ध्यान से देख लेना. Fine? ध्यान से देख लो बेटा उसको. Okay? So be careful about these things. And of course, C2 cycle, so again, I'm going through it one more time because I'm sure if I ask you all, hardly anyone will raise your hand. So मैं ही आपको एक बार C2 cycle quickly बता रही हूँ. That is, 3 organelles are involved: chloroplast, peroxisome, and mitochondria. है ना? और मैं भी. Then what happens over here is, firstly, the oxygen will enter. It will split the 5 carbon RUBP into 3 carbon and 2 carbon. 3 carbon compound is your PGA. 2 carbon compound will be your phosphoglycolate. From phosphoglycolate, inorganic phosphate will be removed. Glycolate will remain. The glycolate will be transported from chloroplast to peroxisome. In the peroxisome, it will be oxygenated to form glyoxylate and hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2 that we saw yesterday. The glyoxylate will then get an amino group, that is NH3 group, which will cause the formation of the amino acid glycine. All phosphoglycolate, glycolate, glyoxylate, and glycine, all are 2 carbon compounds. Then this glycine will be transported from the peroxisomes to the mitochondria. Once inside the mitochondria, 2 molecules of glycine have to be accumulated to make 4 carbons. Out of the 4 carbons, 1 carbon will be lost as CO2 to the atmosphere, while the 3 carbon compound which is going to remain will be called as serine. Serine is another amino acid. Now this serine again will be transported from the mitochondria to the peroxisome. In the peroxisome, the serine will lose its amino group and get converted into an organic acid, that is nothing but glycerate or glyceric acid. The glycerate will finally be transported onto the chloroplast, where it will get phosphorylated to form phosphoglyceric acid or PGA. Okay. Here there is a 25% loss of the yield because one CO2 is going to be moved out of the mitochondria, right? Otherwise, if 2 CO2s would have come inside, there would have been 4 PGA formation. But here, 1 oxygen enters and there is 3 PGA formation. So 1 PGA formation कम होता है, इसीलिए 25% लॉस कहते हैं हम ये photo respiration के लिए, ठीक है? So this is what is something associated with your photo respiration that I wanted to revise one more time. तो फोटो रेस्पिरेशन बोलने के लिए थोड़ा सा बच्चों को डिफिकल्ट लगता है. Believe me, it's not difficult. It's very easy. Just remember co-oxy sign, sulfurate PGA, and you're done with the cycle. Fine. Okay. So that's it with your yesterday's revision part. And in that, we are seeing something called as intrinsic factors, which are going to be very important for plant growth. And the intrinsic factors were number of chloroplast present, the, the distribution of the chloroplast. Then there was something called as hormones or chemical regulators, which also play a very important role in photosynthesis. Hai na? So in that particular context, we are going ahead with a new chapter, that is plant growth and development. The chapter plant growth and development in your, now listen to this carefully. Again, I don't want any confusions. These confusions are not created by me. Okay, these confusions are created by the respective boards. Okay, so please pay attention to whatever I'm saying right now. Plant growth and development, also abbreviated as PGD. Henceforth, I will refer this chapter as PGD. Okay, now this plant growth and development chapter is a part of your board syllabus. 12th standard में plant growth and development आपके syllabus में included है, ठीक है? So according to your boards, this is your 12th standard chapter. According to your boards, this is your 12th standard chapter. But according to NCERT, this chapter you will find it in 11th standard NCERT textbook. Am I making myself very clear? ये चैप्टर 12th बोर्ड्स का है, क्योंकि आपके बोर्ड बुक में, गवर्नमेंट टेक्स्ट बुक में ये चैप्टर 12th स्टैंडर्ड में इंक्लूड कराया गया है. लेकिन अगर आपको ये एनसीईआरटी के थ्रू पढ़ना है तो आपको 12th स्टैंडर्ड के एनसीईआरटी में प्लान ग्रोथ डेवलपमेंट नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि ये चैप्टर 11th स्टैंडर्ड के एनसीईआरटी में प्रिंटेड है. इज इट क्लियर? So we are going to do this chapter with respect to boards plus your competitive. Okay? Those students who are going to appear for CET, those students who are going to appear for NEET, those students who are going to appear for only boards, सबके लिए ये chapter included है. Is it clear? Fine. From where to study? इससे मैंने बोला, if you want to study from NCERT, then you will have to open 11th standard textbook. If you want to study this chapter from government textbook, you will have to open 12th standard textbook. ठीक है? Fine. So let us go ahead with this. That's plan growth and development. As you can see in this particular slide itself, ये जो introductory है, उसमें यहाँ आप देख सकते हो that this is going to be the beginning of the life of the plant, है ना? And how it is growing, how it is going to grow, छोटा फिर और बड़ा और बड़ा और बड़ा, है ना? So this is what we are going to talk in details about how the plant growth takes place and how the development of the plant is going to take place. Okay, now what's your doubt? Offline कब होगा? But again, the cases in Mumbai are increasing now. So you look at the news or no? Huh? Cases of corona are increasing again in Mumbai. So the government is not allowing any educational institutes to open and call the students. So unless and until we all don't get the vaccinations, तब तक थोड़ा situation dicey, right? Okay. So let us talk about this PGD. Growth can be defined as an irreversible permanent increase in size of an organ or its part or even of an individual cell. Irreversible. What do you mean by the word irreversible? You cannot reverse back. You cannot go back into your childhood days physically. Mentally you can, right? So irreversible permanent increase in size of an organ or its parts or even an individual cell, that will be called as your growth. In other terms, it can also be said to be a vital process. Vital means important process, which brings about permanent change in any plant or its part with respect to its size, form, weight, volume. है ना? So all these change, that is increase in size, increase in its form, increase in its weight, increase in volume, everything will be called as growth. Correct? What is germination then? Growth is to increase. Then what is germination? Correct? The process by which the dormant embryo wakes up. Good morning होता है. आपका good morning हुआ है? सबका? हाँ, किसी किसी का हुआ है. कोई कोई लोग मुझे कुछ questions पूछ रहे हैं, है ना? हाँ, ये क्या पूछ रहे हो बेटा? We aren't supposed to take vaccine. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सबका नंबर आएगा. आज नहीं तो कल सबका नंबर तो आने ही वाला है. Okay? Yeah. So it depends on the priorities. फिलहाल senior citizens की priorities है. The medical field में जो लोग काम करते हैं उनको प्रायोरिटी दी गई है. जो स्कूल में टीचर्स है उनको प्रायोरिटी दी गई है. So they are prioritizing the drive of vaccination. Okay. Yeah. What is like parturition? Komal? I'm not getting your question. Germination? No. So that is a different process. So germination, the process by which the dormant embryo wakes up. Okay? तो उसको गुड मॉर्निंग कराना है. तो गुड मॉर्निंग कराने के लिए क्या होता है बेटा? There would be certain enzymes which will be activated. And to activate those enzymes, you require water. So you might have heard that you should always, water should be available for seed germination. Have you all heard about this sentence? आपने तो बचपन में सेकंड थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड में ये किया भी होगा. टीचर ने ये करवाया होगा स्कूल में. एक हैंडफुल ऑफ moong sprouts or something like that way, and you have to put it in water or you have to put it in the soil and you have to water it Why water is so crucial for germination? इतना वो germination में water का क्या रोल है? So water का बहुत important रोल है यहाँ पर कि गुड मॉर्निंग कराना। आप लोग भी कभी कभी इतनी गहरी नींद में रहते हो कि मम्मा उठाती है, पापा उठाते हैं, भाई उठाता है, बहन उठाती है, 5 मिनट्स, मम्मा 5 मिनट्स, पापा 5 मिनट्स। ये जो 5 मिनट्स है ये आपके खत्म ही नहीं होते, है ना? फिर 5 मिनट से तुम लोग 2 मिनट्स पे आ जाते हो, है ना? ना ओनली 2 मिनट्स, बस 2 मिनट्स होने दो प्लीज, आप जाओ यहाँ से। होता है कि नहीं ये तुम्हारे साथ? सबके साथ होता है, आई नो दिस। हाँ, ये 5 मिनट्स, 2 मिनट्स, 1 मिनट, फिर फाइनली क्या होता है? फाइनली क्या होता है? पानी आके जब डालते हैं ना तुम्हारे फेस के ऊपर, तब जाके तुम लोग एकदम से जाग जाते हो और गुस्से में आते हो, पानी क्यों डाला, मैं उठने ही वाला था, मैं उठने ही वाली थी, है ना? तो पानी इज द अल्टीमेट, क्या कहते हैं, ऑप्शन लेफ्ट विद अस, कि पानी फेंको, उठाओ। समथिंग लाइक दिस would happen with the embryo also. So here the embryo is going to be woken up by water, right? धमकी ऑफ वाटर, धमकी क्या, मैं तो पानी डालती हूँ मेरे बेटे के मुंह पे, किसी नहीं तो वो तो उठेगा ही नहीं, स्कूल रहती है तो। अभी तो उसके वेकेशन चल रहे हैं, बस नहीं तो स्कूल रहती है तो पानी डाल के उठाना पड़ता है उसको। Anyway, so the process by which the dormant embryo wakes up, grows out of the seed pod and establishes itself as a seedling is called as germination. Okay, so seed to seedling बनना जो होता है, that will be called as germination. When all the necessary conditions for germination have been supplied, then they may start to sprout. Yes, all of us have eaten sprouts. I hope you all have also eaten sprouts. तो रात में हम लोग वो जो स्प्राउट्स होते हैं उसको हमें भिगोना होता है ना पानी में, we have to immerse them in water, correct? So then the sprouting will initiate, correct? After the seeds have imbibed water, greatly increased physiological activity will develop within them. Imbibe water. There is a phenomenon called as imbibition. Has anyone heard about this word imbibition? Imbibe karna. Know what is imbibition? Nahin? Not heard for the word imbibition? Yes, Vyom, you are right, beta. You are very right. Very right, Vyom. Perfect. Yeah, it is absorption of water from the surface. That is called as imbibition. So, when the water will be imbibed, it will not make any solution. It will not make any solution. But that particular water will just enter inside the seed pod and will be utilized for activation of enzymes. Okay, that is called as imbibition. देखिए, during the rainy season आपके wooden doors और wooden windows जो होते हैं ना, वो एकदम से swell up हो जाते हैं. Do you know this? कभी ये देखा है? I will experience this during the rainy season. बहुत वो सूख जाते हैं, बोलते हैं जैसे ये हो जाते हैं, swollen हो जाते हैं, है ना? It becomes difficult to lock them. जोर से उनको खींचना पड़ता है. That is because of imbibition. So whatever space is there in the wood is occupied by the water molecules, moisture. It won't make any solution. वो solution नहीं बनाएगा, लेकिन water molecules अंदर फंस जाते हैं, है ना? So that is imbibition. तो imbibition बहुत बार होता है. आपने भी imbibition कभी experience करा होगा. करा है क्या? मम्मा ने गरम गरम टिफिन कभी पैक करके आपको दिया है स्कूल में? गर्मा गर्म टिफिन कभी पैक करके दिया है? बोला भी होगा कि जल्दी बंद मत कर, पूरे टाइम खुला रख. ऐसा कभी हुआ है क्या? और आपने मम्मी की बात नहीं सुनी हो और उसको ऐसे ही बंद कर दिया आपने गर्मा गर्म? हुआ है कभी ऐसे? वेरी ऑफन ना, स्कूल टाइम में ये होता ही है. लेट हो जाता है, गरम खाना बना के देते हैं आपको, आप टिफिन का ढक्कन बंद कर देते हो, वैसे ही गर्मा गर्म, हाँ, वाटर वेपर आ जाता है. ये yes, it gets soggy also water vapor की वजह से. And you know what? कभी कभी तो ऐसे भी हुआ है कि वो टिफिन इतना टाइट हो जाता है उसका लिड कि आप कितनी भी कोशिश करो वो निकलता ही नहीं है। ऐसा हुआ है कभी? फिर उसको ठोको, मोड़ो, कुछ तो करो। कभी ऐसा हुआ है आपके साथ? दैट इज ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ इम्बिबिशन। वो जो सारी मॉइस्चर है ना, वो सारा अंदर इम्बाइब हो गया, और जहाँ वो जो हीट थी, वो सारी हीट वहां से जो हीट है वो एस्केप हो गई, और हीट की वजह से क्या हो गया, वो जो है वो पूरा डिब्बा स्वोलन हो गया, है ना। कभी कभी तो लिड भी ब्लो ऑफ होता है। आपने बहुत गर्मा गर्म होकर कुछ पैक किया ना, तो वो जो डिब्बे का ढक्कन होता है ना, इट गेट्स ब्लोन ऑफ, सीरियसली इट गेट्स ब्लोन ऑफ, और ऐसे धमाके के जैसी आवाज आएगी अगर टिफिन बड़ा है तो। आई डोंट नो आपने कभी एक्सपीरियंस करा होगा कि नहीं। आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस, मैंने एक्सपीरियंस करा। एनीवे, सो दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ इम्बिबिशन। सो इम्बाइब करना मतलब क्या? टू एब्जॉर्ब फ्रॉम द सर्फेस बट नॉट मेक एनी सोल्यूशन। कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं बनता है उस पानी का। दैट वाटर इज जस्ट गोइंग टू बी देयर, इट्स गोइंग टू बी present in that particular spaces, I would say. Okay, that is imbibition. Then, by enzymatic action, the stored food is digested. See, now which action we are talking about? We are talking about the enzymatic action. That means the enzymes are going to be activated. So by the enzymatic action, the stored food is digested to soluble form and can be used up by the developing embryo. अब देखो बेटा, एम्ब्रियो का जैसे ही गुड मॉर्निंग हो जाता है, वो ग्रो होने लगता है। ग्रो कैसे होगा? ग्रो कैसे होगा? बाय माइटोसिस। वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन सेल साइकिल सेल डिवीजन, है ना। तो बाय माइटोसिस वो बढ़ जाएगा उसका सेल नंबर, बट माइटोसिस कराने के लिए यू रिक्वायर एटीपी। यू रिमेम्बर आई हैड एक्सप्लेन अबाउट सीडीके। अगर आपको याद है तो मैंने आपको सीडीके के बारे में बताया था, साइकिल इंडिपेंडेंट काइनेजेस, and then I had told you that how ATP is playing a role in this entire CDK का formation, है ना। So there is a lot of ATP that is required. बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी चाहिए। अब ये एनर्जी कौन देगा? Who will give this energy to the embryo for undergoing mitosis? So that energy will be got from the stored food. तो उस फूड को एनर्जी बनाने के लिए it has to undergo what? Digestion. It has to undergo breakdown. So who will bring about this breakdown? So this breakdown will be brought about by enzymes. तो एंजाइम्स की एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट करने के लिए उसको किसकी जरूरत होती है? पानी की जरूरत होती है। तो बेटा जैसे ही हम सीड को पानी सप्लाई करते हैं तो क्या होगा? We take seeds, we add water, the water will get imbibed. That imbibed water will activate a set of enzymes. These enzymes will break down the stored food. Okay, the seed will have the stored food in the form of endosperm. We have seen this. So that stored food will get broken down or digested. As the enzymes digest this reserved food, energy will be liberated. Correct? This energy will be used up by the embryonal cells to undergo mitosis. More the mitosis takes place, more will be the growth. Did you all understand this phenomena? तो आज जाके समझ में आ गया कि पानी का क्या रोल है सीड जर्मिनेशन में। करेक्ट? आई विल रिपीट वन मोर टाइम, listen carefully. We take the seeds, we add water. Water will activate a set of enzymes. These enzymes will break down the reserved food in the seed. This digestion of the food will release ATP. This ATP will be used for mitotic divisions of the embryo. More as the mitotic divisions taking place, better would be the embryonal growth. Simple. Any difficulty? Because these sentences are given in your book, but explanation is not there anywhere. So I hope now you understand that point. By enzymatic action, The stored food is digested to soluble form and can be used by developing embryo. Okay. Through the transfer of soluble food, radicle and plumule begin to grow. Now we have already seen what is a radicle and what is a plumule in morphology of flowering plants. So again, I'm not going to explain anything on that. You already know about it. When the suspension of growth is due to exogenous control, suspension means the growth is arrested. The growth is not, going ahead. The growth is not taking place. That is called as suspension. So when the suspension of the growth is due to exogenous control, exogenous means external controls, like unfavorable environmental conditions, then it is called as quiescence. What is it called as? Quiescence. Please remember this. Quiescence and dormancy में फर्क है. Conditions unfavorable है. जैसे conditions favorable हो जाएंगे, seed germination normal हो जाएगा. ठीक है. तो अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस की वजह से जो सीड डेवलपमेंट या जर्मिनेशन या ग्रोथ अरेस्ट हुआ है, टेम्पररीली सस्पेंड हुआ है, उसको हम कहते हैं क्विसेंस. ठीक है. While when the seeds fail to germinate even in favorable conditions, then they are said to be at rest or dormancy. तो dormant seeds का मतलब क्या है बेटा? In spite of giving favorable conditions, the seed isn't in the capacity to germinate. That is called as dormancy. So did you all understand what is quiescence and dormancy? Now for example, you can't hear me. Why beta? Others you all can hear me? Which is some problem with your network connection, because others are saying that they can hear me. Please check your network connection or you can rejoin. You leave the meeting and you can rejoin. You all can hear me now. Some problem with your network connection, you disconnect and rejoin. ठीक है. Okay. So suppose now जितने बच्चे हो तुम लोग है ना, सबको मैंने 10 सीड्स दे दिए. कितने सीड्स दे दिया मैंने? 10 सीड्स दे दिए. ये 10 सीड्स मैंने आपको बोले कि कीप इट इन योर बैग एंड आफ्टर 3 months you will see what is to be done with them. ठीक है. सबको मैंने 10 सीड्स दिए हैं, एक पॉलिथीन बैग में डाल के मैंने आपके बैग में रखने के लिए दिए हैं, एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू ऑल that we'll see what is to be done with them after 3 months. Okay, so for 3 months these seeds could be quiescent or they could be dormant. वो quiescent है या dormant है, वो हम कैसे चेक करेंगे? Only when we germinate them. So after 3 months I tell, come on beta, 3 months before I had given you all the seeds, take a pot, label it with your name, and use the soil, water, and sunlight and allow them to grow. Now, out of those 10 seeds, say few of you all 10 seeds got germinated. So you can confirm, miss, all my seeds were quiescent. है ना? Why some may have 8 seeds germinating, some may have 5 seeds germinating, some may have 2 seeds germinating. Accordingly, what you will tell me, miss, my 2 seeds were dormant and 8 seeds were quiescent. My 4 seeds were dormant and 6 seeds were quiescent. So you understood the difference between quiescent and dormant. So in spite of giving them favorable conditions, if the seeds are not able to establish themselves and grow into a seedling, then they are dormant. ठीक है. फर्क समझ में आ गया? What is quiescent and what is dormant? No confusion. Go through the points quickly. देख लो एक बार, कोई नहीं पॉइंट समझ में आया तो पूछो. समझा? Good. Then we go to the next one. This types of germination. So there are different seeds which show different types of germination. Don't worry, there are not too many. There are only 3. Only 3 types of germinations are there, which has been observed till now. The first type of germination is going to be called as epigeal germination. Epi का मतलब होता है above, geal का मतलब होता है soil. So these seeds come above the soil. These seeds come above the soil for germination. Okay. What is your doubt in short question? Germination and obviously no germination. Question is germination. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So epigeal में in bean seeds, you know what are beans? Beans, wal. So in bean seeds, food is stored in the cotyledons. You know this. Even green peas also. Food is stored in the cotyledons. है ना? After the digestion, it is translocated to hypocotyl, the radicle and the plumule. You know what is hypocotyl? I have told you in morphology. I had explained something called as cotyledonary node. The region below the cotyledonary node is hypocotyl, and the region above the cotyledonary node up to the first node is epicotyl. So hypocotyl and epicotyl morphology में हमने ये डिटेल में किया हुआ है ना? So what they are saying कि the reserve food in your groundnut seed ले लो या bean seed ले लो, कोई भी ले लो, उसमें क्या होता है? Food is stored in the cotyledons, right? Now the food will be solubilized by the enzymatic actions, है ना? Now this food will be translocated, means would be moved to which all regions? Hypocotyl, the radicle and the plumule. ठीक है? Now in epigeal germination, radical emerges first. तो सबसे पहले इसमें कौन इमर्ज होता है बेटा? Radical emerge होता है. So the radical emerges first, after which the hypocotyl elongates, carrying the two cotyledons and plumule outside the soil. अब इसको थोड़ा सा आपको इमेजिन करना है कि इसमें क्या होता है. ठीक है? अभी मेरे पास इधर बीम तो है नहीं. क्या है मेरे पास? What do I have? Nothing as such. Anyways, I'll just show you with my hands. Understand this. Okay. This is going to be your seed. ये आपकी सीड है. ये सीड को आपने सॉइल के नीचे जर्मिनेशन के लिए डाल दिया है. ठीक है? अब यहाँ पर सबसे पहले डेवलप कौन होता है? रेडिकल डेवलप होता है ना? रेडिकल डेवलप होते ही क्या होगा? It will be pulled below. Radical will go down, and as the radical goes down, the plumule and the cotyledons will be pulled up. Okay, तो ये जो है ना, ये ऐसे ऊपर आ जाएगा, रेडिकल नीचे चला जाएगा. यहाँ पर ये पॉइंट पे है प्लूम्यूल, ये है दो रेडिकल, ये है दो कॉटिलेडॉन्स. तो ये जो सीड के कॉटिलेडॉन्स है ये ऊपर आ गए along with the plumule. Plumule is going to be at this particular junction. Plumule के नीचे है hypocotyl and radical जो नीचे बढ़ रहा है. तो देखो आप इमेजिन कर लो, जस्ट ट्राई टू इमेजिन दिस. आपका कबर्ड का हैंडल है या डोर का हैंडल है, तो व्हेन यू प्लक इट डाउन तो क्या हो जाता है? अंदर से ऊपर आ जाता है ना लेवर. हाँ या ना? व्हेन यू प्लग द हैंडल डाउन, द लेवर मूव्स अप इनसाइड, अंदर चला जाएगा ना वो. करेक्ट? तो जैसे ही वो अंदर चला जाता है वैसे ही ये जो है ये ऐसे उल्टा होके सॉइल के ऊपर आ जाते हैं. Okay, so this is how actually the epigeal germination takes place. Diagram is there, of course. I'll explain using the diagram also. The cotyledons, after coming above the ground, they become flat, they become green, and once they become green, they are capable of photosynthesis. है ना? So they perform the function of foliage leaf. Till the first foliage leaf is going to be formed, they perform the function of foliage leaf. Means they will do photosynthesis. मतलब क्या हो गया? देखो, these two cotyledons have come up. They become green in color. They act like leaves. कब? जब तक ये प्लूम्यूल बढ़ के एक्चुअल ट्रू लीव्स नहीं बनाता है, Thus, who will feed them? So the cotyledons will feed them. Okay. Radicle bends downwards in the soil and it forms the root. Okay. By this, plumule has become an actively growing vegetative shoot. The hypocotyle functions as the stem and the radicle will function as the root. Fine. Look at the diagram. It will be easy. Here it is. This is the soil line. इधर soil है. ये दो cotyledons अंदर है ना? अभी hypocotyle देखिए, ये hypocotyle elongates faster, giving rise to the radicle. अब क्या हो गया? ये हैंडल आपने नीचे पुल किया. इमेजिन आपने ये हाइपोकोटाइल को नीचे पुल किया, तो जैसे ही आपने हाइपोकोटाइल को नीचे पुल किया, ये दो कॉटिलेडॉन्स क्या हो गया बेटा? ऊपर की तरफ खींचे गए. सो नाउ द कॉटिलेडॉन्स आर अबव द सॉइल. ये सीड कोट है, ये निकल रहा है, देखो. दिस इज द एपिकोटाइल हुक. नाउ ये जो दो कॉटिलेडॉन्स है, ये खुल के दे आर एक्टिंग एज व्हाट? दे आर एक्टिंग एज फोटोसिंथेटिक ऑर्गन्स और दे आर एक्टिंग एज फॉलिएज लीव्स. कब तक ये बरकरार रहेंगे, कब तक ये इंटैक्ट रहेंगे? जब तक ये दो लीव्स नहीं आ जाते हैं. वंस द ट्रू लीव्स आर फॉर्म, दिस इज द एपिकोटाइल का प्लिम्यूल पार्ट जो ऊपर ग्रो हो रहा है ना. तो जब तक ये दो लीव्स बनते नहीं हैं, तब तक ये दो इंटैक्ट है. जैसे ये दो लीव्स बन जाते हैं, इनका काम खत्म हो गया. नाउ दीज टू लीव्स आर sufficient for photosynthesis to feed the plant. So these two cotyledonary leaves now will shed off. They will fall off. ठीक है? So this type of germination is called as epigeal germination. Epigeal में hypocotyle elongates faster. Epigeal में radicle develops first. Epigeal में cotyledons come above the soil. ये 3 पॉइंट याद रखने हैं. Any confusion in epigeal germination? Any difficulty in understanding any point in epigeal germination? No? Everything understood? Great. Second is hypogea. Hypo means below. Below the soil. So here the cotyledons will remain below the soil. What's your out? What did I say at the end? What did I say at the end? I said that 3 points you have to remember in epigeal germination. I'll give you all in writing the difference between a hypo and epi, na beta. That time I'll tell you. In epigeal germination, 3 points है. First point क्या है? That the cotyledons come above the soil. Second point क्या है? The radicle develops first. Third point क्या है? The hypocotyle elongates fast. These are the 3 points for epigeal. It's exactly opposite for hypogeal. So we'll be writing as a difference of. Okay. Hypogeal germination. In most of the monocot seeds, food is not used up completely by the developing embryo. मतलब एंडोस्पर्म इंटैक्ट रहता है, फूड टिश्यू न्यूट्रिटिव टिश्यू इंटैक्ट रहता है, सारा का सारा फूड वो लोग यूज नहीं करते हैं. ठीक है. The radicle emerges first, after which the epicotyle elongates and plumule grows faster than the radicle. Epigeal में who was developing first? Hypocotyle. Who was developing faster? Radicle. Hypogeal में क्या हुआ? Epicotyle elongates faster. Who develops faster than radicle? Plumule. Exactly opposite. Third thing देखो, the cotyledons remain below the soil and eventually degenerate. Radicle develops downward into the soil and forms the root. Radicle चाहे hypogeal हो या epigeal हो, radicle हमेशा root ही develop करेगा. So this is hypogeal. ये देखो, this is the seed. The seed is remaining below the soil only. This is going to be the radical development, है ना? देखो radical is developing, but here who is developing faster? Epicotyle is developing faster, and epicotyle is coming above the soil. ये देखो, ये एपिकोटाइल आ गया सॉइल के ऊपर और लीफ ऑलरेडी बन चुका है. ये देखो, सो दिस इज योर हाइपोजियल, जिसमें ये कॉटिलेडॉन नीचे ही रहेगा, ऊपर आएगा नहीं। गॉट इट? एपीजियल एंड हाइपोजियल में डिफरेंस समझ में आ गया? राइट डाउन द डिफरेंस, कम ऑन, आई एम डिक्टेटिंग, क्विकली राइट डाउन। टेक अ बुक, पेन, पेंसिल, पेंसिल मत लिखो यार, स्कूल के बच्चे नहीं हो तुम लोग, फोर्थ स्टैंडर्ड वाले, थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड वाली पेंसिल से लिखने के लिए। इन द नोटबुक, टेक्स्ट बुक में पेन नहीं यूज करना है, टेक्स्ट बुक में एवरीथिंग यू हैव टू राइट इट इन पेंसिल, बट इन नोटबुक यूज अ पेन। चलो राइट। और ये ऐसे वो बच्चों के जैसे ऐसे एक एक कहीं से फुल स्केप लेके आओ, इतना छोटा चिटोरा लेके आओ, उसके ऊपर कुछ तो लिखो, ऐसे मत करो। राइट इट इन अ वेरी नीट एंड क्लीन वे, बिकॉज ये आपके बोर्ड्स के लिए आने वाला है। डिफ्रेंशिएट बिटवीन हाइपोजियल एंड एपीजियल जर्मिनेशन 2 मार्क्स के लिए आता है, डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन। सो आई एम मेकिंग यू ऑल प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर योर बोर्ड्स आल्सो। कम ऑन, राइट डाउन फास्ट। फटाफट। फर्स्ट पॉइंट फॉर एपीजियल जर्मिनेशन, cotyledons are brought, cotyledons are brought above the soil, cotyledons are brought above the soil। हाइपोजियल में क्या लिखोगे? cotyledons remain below the soil, cotyledons remain below the soil। सेकेंड पॉइंट एपीजियल का, hypocotyle elongates faster, hypocotyle elongates faster। हाइपोजियल में क्या लिखोगे? सेकेंड पॉइंट, एपिकोटाइल elongates faster, एपिकोटाइल elongates faster। थर्ड पॉइंट फॉर एपीजियल, थर्ड पॉइंट, radical grows faster than plumule, radical grows faster than plumule। हाइपोजियल में क्या लिखोगे बता? plumule grows faster than radical, plumule grows faster than radical। Fourth point in epigial germination, mostly seen in dicots, mostly seen in dicots। हाइपोजियल में mostly seen in monocots, mostly seen in monocots। एग्जाम्पल, एग्जाम्पल एपीजियल में बीन, BEAN, बीन, पी, PEAP, हाइपोजियल में एग्जाम्पल मेज, मेज, wheat, मेज, wheat। दो दो एग्जाम्पल लिखोगे ना आपके बोर्ड में, बस होगी। ठीक है, तो ये देखने के लिए 5 पॉइंट्स है बेटा, लेकिन बोर्ड्स का एक थंब रूल है, आपके बोर्ड एग्जाम्स का एक थंब रूल है कि अगर 2 मार्क्स के लिए क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है तो आपको 4 पॉइंट्स लिखने होते हैं, हाफ मार्क्स फॉर ईच करेक्ट पॉइंट। ओके, तो इसके 2 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आएगा तो मैंने आपको 4 पॉइंट्स दिए हैं। लेकिन अगर आपने 5th पॉइंट एग्जाम्पल का नहीं लिखा तो आपके हाफ मार्क्स कट हो जाएंगे। लेकिन अगर आपने 3 पॉइंट्स लिखे और 4th पॉइंट एग्जाम्पल का लिखा ना, तो भी आपका हाफ मार्क कट हो जाएगा। तो एग्जाम्पल जो होता है वो हमेशा 5th पॉइंट आएगा। समझ में आ गया? तो डिफरेंस बिटवीन 4 रहते हैं और एग्जाम्पल जो होते हैं दैट विल बी योर 5th पॉइंट फॉर 2 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन, एंड दिस इज एन एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन फॉर योर बोर्ड एग्जाम। गॉट इट? एनी डिफिकल्टी? एपीजीएल के एग्जाम्पल्स, एपीजीएल के एग्जाम्पल इज बीन, BEAN, बीन, एंड PEA, बीन एंड पी। ठीक है, ओके, एनी डाउट्स? I'll move ahead with the third type of germination, which is very beautiful. एकदम हटके फेनोमेना है वो। Shall I? All points written down. उधर है ना बेटा, जिधर आपने अभी ये लिखा है ना डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन, उधर लिखो फॉर बोर्ड्स into bracket 2 marks, half mark for each correct point. Example is compulsory to be written. ये पॉइंट्स याद रखने हैं आपको फॉर द एंटायर 12th स्टैंडर्ड सिलेबस। ठीक है, ओके, now we come to the third type of germination, which I said is very happy and very beautiful. That's called as viviparous germination. What do you mean by the word viviparity? What are viviparous animals? Can you tell me? कोई बताएगा मुझे what is viviparity? Come on, come on, come on. Someone? Oviparity, viviparity. Yeah. Forget about plants. What is viviparity in animals? Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Giving birth to the young one directly. Very right. Exactly, beta. Very correct. All of you are giving me the right answers. So, direct birth to the new offspring, okay, is called as viviparity. अब यहाँ पर हम वही viviparity देख रहे हैं प्लांट्स में, ये थोड़ा हटके नहीं है क्या, है ना? So what is this viviparity? Let us understand. Okay, viviparity means germination of seeds within the fruit while it is still attached to the mother plant. We call it as viviparity. मतलब देखो, ये जो प्लांट है आपको यहाँ पर क्लियरली दिखाई दे रहा है, ये प्लांट, ये फ्रूट है बेटा। ये जो येलो कलर का है ना, ये फ्रूट है। ये फ्रूट के अंदर ये ब्राउन कलर का जो दिखाई दे रहा है वो सीड है। ये जो ब्राउन कलर का अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है वो सीड है, और ये जो ग्रीन कलर का अभी उस सीड में से बाहर निकल रहा है, देख रहे हो आप? कैन यू सी दिस ग्रीन कलर का थिंग दैट इज कमिंग आउट वेयर माय कर्सर इज मूविंग राइट नाउ? दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द न्यू सीडलिंग. So this fruit is still attached to its own mother plant, right? The seed is going to have the fruit is going to have the seed, and seed has already germinated, given birth directly to the seedling when it is still onto the plant. How beautiful the phenomena is, right? This is called as viviparity. Okay, so here what happens, see, vivipary has been noticed in a number of plants like Rhizophora, Soneraceae, Heracea, squash, coconut, etc. ये आप मुझे बता सकते हो राइजोफोरा, सोनेराशिया, हेरेशिया, ये किधर हमने नाम सुने थे रे? कोई कोई बताएगा किसके एग्जाम्पल्स है ये? मॉर्फोलॉजी में हमने ये तीनों नाम देखे हुए हैं। कैन एनीवन टेल मी these are the examples of what? Very nice, Samiksha, very nice, very good. Who else would give me the answer? Yes, Parnavi, very good beta, very good, very good, very good. अरे बाकी के लोग, हाँ हिमांशु करेक्ट, राइट हिमांशु, नाइस। हमने ये किए है ना नाम, सोनेराशिया, राइजोफोरा, ये किसके एग्जाम्पल्स है? These three are the examples of whom? In morphology we have seen this. हाँ, yes Saloni, right बेटा. It's about what? Your nematophores, है ना? Mangroves, nematophores, halophytes, है ना? So wherever there is going to be high salinity, जहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा salt है, in those particular areas, ये viviparity दिखाई देती है, that is viviparous germination दिखाई देता है, ठीक है? क्यों ऐसे होता है? Why? Generally because the seed will take time to adapt to the salt conditions. तो जैसे ही वो सीडलिंग हो गया, अब जर्मिनेशन ऑलरेडी हो चुका है, तो इट हैज टू ओनली ग्रो, तो अभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी, ठीक है? सो इट इज राइजोफोरा, सोनेराशिया, हेरेशिया, कोकोनट में भी दिखाई देता है ये, कोकोनट एंड स्क्वैश. डू यू नो कोकोनट का, जब हम कोकोनट को ग्रो कराना चाहते हैं, कोकोनट ट्री ग्रो कराना चाहते हैं, तो हम सॉइल में क्या डालते हैं? कौन, what do we actually put into the soil? Does anyone know? Very right. Yes. हम पूरा कोकोनट ही अंदर डाल देते हैं बेटा, सॉइल के अंदर, और उसमें है ना बहुत सॉल्ट डालना पड़ता है. कोकोनट को ग्रो कराने के लिए सॉल्ट चाहिए, केजीज ऑफ सॉल्ट डालते हैं हम लोग उधर. पता है कि नहीं? आई डोंट नो. इफ यू आर फ्रॉम कोंकण साइड, आपने देखा होगा कोकोनट ट्रीज बहुत है ना? और वीवी पैरिटी बेटा, so that viviparity takes place. Okay, so that is how the things are actually working. Then paddy grains also germinate while still attached with the mother plant, provided they get sufficient moisture. Paddy grains are going to be your rice fields and all. Okay, the embryo in such cases do not show dormancy. They exhibit continuous growth. The radicle is first to appear, then the hypophytile elongates. ABA appears to play a fundamental role in developing seeds by inhibiting viviparity. Now, what is ABA? ABA is a hormone. It's a plant hormone. The full form of ABA is abscisic acid, जो आगे आने वाला है, इसी चैप्टर में आने वाला है. So don't worry about the last point. इतना ही याद रखना, ABA is a plant hormone that inhibits viviparity, that stops viviparity. ठीक है? Got it? So this is viviparous type of germination. So there are only three types of germination, which are three: epigeal, hypogeal, viviparous. All three understood? No confusion with these? All three are clear? Look at the viviparity. If anyone is having any difficulty in understanding this, please ask me. No? I can go ahead. That's what I said, that ABA is a plant hormone which will prevent viviparity. Just remember like that. That it will prevent viviparity. It will not allow the germination of the seeds, maybe because of unfavorable conditions. So ABA will only be operational in unfavorable conditions. Okay, got it? It's called as a stress hormone actually. जब भी प्लांट को स्ट्रेस रहता है, आपको कैसे स्ट्रेस रहता है? हाँ, आजकल इतने छोटे छोटे लोग, तुम लोग स्ट्रेस रहते हो, तुम्हें स्ट्रेस, क्या स्ट्रेस एंड ऑल. तुम्हारे एज में तो स्ट्रेस जैसे हैवी उठ जाना चाहिए. हाँ, यू आर यंग, जस्ट न्यूली डेवलपिंग, यू नो, अपकमिंग ब्रेन्स है तुम्हारे, तो स्ट्रेस नहीं लेने का, उड़ा देने का उसको. करेक्ट? तो वैसे ही प्लांट भी कभी 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 स्ट्रेस आता है, तो जब वो स्ट्रेस आता है तो एबीए बनता है. एबीए बनता है तो स्ट्रेस रिलीज होता है. ठीक है? So this is about the types of germinations that we have seen. Fine. Now, some characteristics of the plant growth. Plant growth generally is indeterminate. indeterminate means, generally indeterminate means हम उसको सही तरीके से समझ नहीं सकते कि ग्रोथ की तरह हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. ओके, जनरली. What's your doubt, beta? ABA is related to opening. Yeah, it's related to opening and closing of stomata. A very beautiful mechanism. Opening and closing of stomata. Levitt's theory है वो, या Levitt's hypothesis कहा जाता है उसको. इतना beautiful है ना वो, इतना सही है ना. Of course, Sir will teach you about it, that how the stomata is going to open and how it is going to close. Okay, so that will eventually be followed. Yeah. So we are talking about the plant growth, which is generally indeterminate, which cannot be determined, which cannot be specified generally. Growth regions. Typical growth regions in plants are apices of root and shoot. You know this. जिसको हम RAM and SAM कहते हैं. I'm not abbreviating it. Your exam only gives this words RAM and SAM. नहीं तो एग्जाम में बोलोगे ये राम साम क्या है. RAM is root apical meristem. SAM is shoot apical meristem. Okay. Yeah. See, root apex and shoot apex represents the apical meristem. That is RAM. Root apical meristem. SAM, that is shoot apical meristem. Then it is also seen in primary meristem, the region of primary growth. We have done anatomy of flowering plants. You know what are the apices, and you know the apical meristems also. These small masses of meristematic tissues in buds and root tips are called as growing points. The apical meristems are responsible for increase in length. Correct. Another meristem called as intercalary meristem also increases the length. Example, intercalary meristem is seen in mint, bamboo, grasses, etc. Intercalary meristems are the portions of the apical meristems separated by the permanent tissues and represent temporary regions of growth. Already you all have done this in anatomy. है या नहीं? Apical meristem, intercalary meristem, lateral meristem, तीनों हमने डिटेल किए हुए हैं. फिर भी किसी को डाउट है इसमें? Anyone having any difficulty in understanding this? No, na? Yeah, this we have done. This we have done. Okay. Secondary growth. This also we have done. इसलिए ये चैप्टर इजी हो जाता है. बहुत सारी चीजें रिपीट होती है. तो ये 11th में हमने किया है. That anatomy was a part of your 11th standard, and this is a part of your 12th standard. But we have done this in 11th standard, so 12th standard में this becomes a revision, right? Secondary growth is initiated by cambium, which are essentially lateral meristems. In dicots and in gymnosperms, the lateral meristems, vascular cambium, fork cambium appear later in life. Lateral meristem, vascular cambium, fork cambium. All three words known to all of you. These are the meristems that cause the increase in the girth of the organs in which they are active. This is known as secondary growth of the plant. In cambium, cell divisions are typically in planes parallel to the long axis of the stem to increase its girth or root, and are responsible for increase in their girth or diameter. Embryonic growth in an animal is completed quite early, although the mature size may be reached at specific periods. Correct? Right? In mammals, it is difficult to specify the region where growth occurs. But in plants, it is very easy to say where the growth is occurring. Correct है? हमारी हाइट बढ़ती है तो हम कहते हैं हमारे लॉन्ग बोन्स इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं, राइट? बट एग्जैक्टली कहाँ कैसे हमारी हाइट बढ़ती है, वी रियली डोंट नो. बट इन प्लांट्स यू कैन से रूट बढ़ा या शूट बढ़ा, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दी RAM and SAM. Okay, so secondary growth again. Anyone having any difficulty in secondary growth? Anatomy में बहुत अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्लेनेशन हमारा हो गया था. फिर भी किसी को डाउट है? Plants are unique in that they retain the capacity of unlimited growth throughout their life. This is true ना? Plant को हमने कितना भी cut किया, not from the root. Uproot किया नहीं बोल रही हूँ मैं. I'm not saying uproot किया, मैं बोल रही हूँ cut किया. It can regenerate, it can regrow, unless and until its root system is not altered, its root system is not damaged. Correct? The ram, sam, vascular, cambium, cord, cambium, intercalary meristems are all called as indeterminate meristems. हम डिटरमाइन ही नहीं कर सकते कि वो कब बन रहे हैं, कब ग्रो करा रहे हैं. You cannot determine them. Okay? The cells of such meristems have the capacity to divide and self-perpetuate. Self-perpetuate means grow on itself. Meristems responsible for leaf and flower formation act only for a little time. Hence, they are called as determinate meristems. जो लीफ होता है उसकी एक स्पेसिफिक साइज होती है ना. Coriander leaf can never become the size of a banana leaf. हाँ या ना? So every species has got a determinate type of size of the leaf. Even the fruit, though we want the mango to become the size of a watermelon, it will never happen. होता है क्या? Mango watermelon की size था? Not possible, है ना? So there is limitation. There is determinate proportions for the size of the leaf and the size of the fruit. Of course, eventually the size of the seeds as well, no doubt. So fruit, leaf, seed, they are determinate meristems होते हैं उनमें. लेकिन indeterminate कहाँ होते हैं? Root में और stem में. It is indeterminate. So look at the diagram. This diagram is very important. Here you can see this is the root cap. You know about this zone of cell division, that is meristematic zone, zone of enlargement, root hair and maturation. है ना, ये आपको पता है. So this is the growing tip. So indeterminate type of meristematic growth यहाँ पर दिखाई दे रही है ना. On the other hand, look here, ये shoot है अपना. This is the shoot. आप shoot को अगर देखोगे, so what you can see, ये देखो, ये जो एरिया है, this is the meristematic zone, zone of division, shoot apex, है ना. ये क्या है? Young leaves है. These are the two young leaves which are going to be growing. This is the zone of enlargement, elongation जिसको हम कहते हैं. Then this is the young bud which is in the axil. So this is the axillary bud, and this is the zone of cell maturation. So ऊपर apex में कंटिन्यूअस ग्रोथ दिखाई देती है. नीचे का जो पोर्शन होता है प्लांट का, स्टेम का, वो परमानेंट ग्रोथ कराता है. ओके, so these are the two diagrams, one for ram and one for sam. Anyone having difficulty in understanding for ram and sam? समझा? Now we come to something called as phases of growth. 3 phases have been observed in every plant. Growth is not a very simple process. Before completion of this process, a meristematic cell has to pass through 3 phases. तो हमारे जैसे लाइफ के phases होते हैं ना, वैसे plant growth के भी phases होते हैं. What are the different phases? See, first is cell division, meristematic. Cell enlargement, zone of elongation. Cell maturation, zone of maturation. So every cell will first divide, then that cell will elongate, and then that cell will mature. Easy? So what are the 3 phases of growth? Tell me. Cell division, cell elongation, cell maturation. ठीक है? Let us see them in a balance. The first is going to be the cell division. Cell division. The plane of cell division is important factor in determining the shape of an organism. ठीक है? If the cell divides in one plane continuously, elongated organs like stem and root are formed. See, if they are going to be in this form, लंबे लंबे अगर divide होते जाएंगे तो क्या होगा? It will increase the length of the root and the stem. Okay. If the division occurs in two planes, flat surfaces like leaf are formed. So how the cell division is taking place, that will lead to the formation of the organs. Fine. In case division takes place in three or more planes, bulky isometric structures would appear like your fruits. Okay. The outstanding characteristic of cell division is the reduplication and division of the nucleus by mitosis. So mitosis से ये divisions होते हैं, that is what they want to say. The final stage of cell division are accompanied by the formation of new cell wall, dividing the cell contents into new cells. Sorry. Got it? So how it's going to divide? If it's going to divide in this form, in the along the axis, then increase in length. If it is going to be in two planes, ऐसे भी और ऐसे भी, flat surfaces, and अगर दो से ऊपर 3, 4, 5, 6 अलग अलग प्लेन से कटिंग हो रहा है, that will give rise to circular masses like fruits. Right? So this is the diagram that they have used for explaining the formative phase or the cell division phase. If you already know about it, of course. ये रूट अपाइकल मेरिस्टेम यहाँ पर दिखाया है, ये शूट अपाइकल मेरिस्टेम यहाँ पर दिखाया है. प्राइमरी ग्रोथ इधर से नीचे प्राइमरी ग्रोथ है, इधर ऊपर मेरिस्टेमेटिक ग्रोथ है. इधर प्राइमरी ग्रोथ नीचे है, मेरिस्टेमेटिक ग्रोथ इधर है और प्राइमरी ग्रोथ ऊपर है. ओके. इधर आते आते सेकेंडरी ग्रोथ होता है, इधर भी आते आते सेकेंडरी ग्रोथ होता है. तो जोन ऑफ मैचुरेशन एक दूसरे के ऑलमोस्ट टच हो जाते हैं. रूट का जोन ऑफ मैचुरेशन इधर आएगा, स्टेम का जोन ऑफ मैचुरेशन भी इधर आएगा. एक प्लेन में जोन ऑफ मैचुरेशन आ जाता है. फाइन. दिस डायग्राम इज गिवन इन योर एनसीईआरटी टेक्स्ट बुक and you are expected to know the diagram perfectly. Then the second phase, that is cell enlargement. Cell enlargement is dominant and most obvious phase in the growth of plant. Increased vacuolation. Increased vacuolation means the number of vacuoles will also increase and the size of vacuoles will also increase. So you can see over here very clearly in this diagram, you can see over here. ये देखो बेटा, ये सेल वॉल है. ये क्या है? ये सेल अपना वैक्यूल क्रिएट हो रहा है. यहाँ पर न्यूक्लियस है. अभी सेल इलोंगेट हो गया. यू कैन सी सेल इलोंगेट हो गया. वैक्यूल की साइज देखो कितनी बढ़ गई है. ये इतना बड़ा वैक्यूल बन गया है. सो एज द सेल इलोंगेट्स ना, द small vacuoles will also come together and they will form large vacuole. Okay, so this vacuole formation is the characteristic of cell enlargement. ठीक है? So see, increased vacuolation, cell enlargement and new cell wall depositions are the characteristics of the cells in this phase. It is caused mainly by the absorption of water. So elongation is because of absorption of water. Due to endoosmosis, divided cells elongate. Endo means coming in. Osmosis is movement of water. Due to the entry of water, that is called as endoosmosis, divided cells will now elongate. They elongate as what? As the balloon expands when it is filled with air under pressure. So in the same way, जैसे एक inflated balloon होता है, उसको जब हम blow up करते हैं, तो वो कैसे एकदम से swell up होता है ना, वैसे ही पानी के एंट्री के वजह से ये जो मेरिस्टेमेटिक सेल्स है, ये blow up होते हैं to undergo elongation. Okay. Now see, elongation is accompanied by formation of a large central vacuole and extension of the cell wall. Due to endosmosis and development of the turgidity. What do you mean by the word turgid? सुना है ये word turgid सुना है? What is turgid? Turgid होना मतलब क्या होना? You might have known about this word ना, turgid? No? Yeah. You're right, Mukta. Who else? Turgid होना मतलब swell up होना, फूग जाना. Okay, भर जाना, तो उस बलून में जब आप हवा भर लेते हो तो वो जो है बलून क्या हो गया, टर्जिड हो गया कहते हैं। हाँ, हियर इट इज फिल्ड विथ वाटर, हियर इट विल बी फिल्ड विथ वाटर। हाँ, अभी होली आ रही है ना तुम्हारी। हाँ, तो पानी वाले बलून वगैरह से खेलते हो क्या अभी भी? खेलते हो? यू ऑल प्ले होली? दिस ईयर बी केयरफुल, कोरोना इज आल्सो गोइंग टू प्ले होली, बेटर दैट, बी सेफ। आई नो होली एक ही बार आती है साल में, और वो बलून वलून यार, आजकल बलून नहीं मिलते हैं ना, कि मिलते हैं? आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट लाइक टू प्ले होली। मिलते हैं क्या बलून अभी भी? कि वो प्लास्टिक की थैलियां मिलती है ना। आई सीन इन माय एरिया सो मेनी पीपल, यू नो, वो पूरा रोड हमारा जो है ना वो प्लास्टिक के थैली से भरा पड़ता है। इतना गंदा लगता है वो। प्लास्टिक की थैली पतली वाली रहती है, एकदम थिन प्लास्टिक रहता है। पूरा मेरा रोड जो है ना, पूरा रोड प्लास्टिक के थैली से भरा हुआ रहता है। या लास्ट ईयर आपके बोर्ड एग्जाम्स थे, यस यस, तो ये साल खेलोगे? बी केयरफुल एंड प्ले। रंग वंग डालते हो तो ठीक है, वो भी वो आजकल के वो पक्के कलर्स होते हैं, वो कितने गंदे जाते ही नहीं है यार। कौन से गंदे गंदे कलर आते हैं वो। ब्लैक कलर, वो शाइनिंग वाला कलर, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड, कैप्सूल, वो चकचक वाला कलर होता है, उसको क्या कहते हैं? एकदम ऐसा सिल्वर कलर एंड सब ब्लैकिश ग्रेइश कलर। मेरे सोसाइटी के सारे हुलिगन्स है ना, ऐसे ही सब कलरफुल होके आते हैं, फिर दूसरे दिन पानी पीने के लिए मेरे घर पे। आई स्टे ऑन ग्राउंड फ्लोर, तो पूरी सोसाइटी हमारे घर पे पानी पीने के लिए रहती है। नेक्स्ट डे तो मैं उनको पहचानती ही नहीं हूँ कि ये कौन लोग आए हैं भाई मेरे घर पे पानी पीने के लिए। सम, दिस से सम कलर, आई फॉरगॉट दैट नेम। पक्का कलर होता है, पक्का कलर। या सम पीपल आल्सो ब्रेक एग्स, आई नो ही, हाउ, there's something, yes, see, my son is saying he wants those color, I'm going to get it. uh, I know, this corona is not going to, this corona is not going to allow, na, that's what many societies would not allow Holi this year. I don't know what's there in my society. Anyway, so वो जो पानी भर के जो तुम लोग मारते हो ना वो बैलून्स में या वो थैली में, वो जब पानी भरने के बाद जो सिचुएशन होती है ना उसकी, उसको कहते हैं टर्जिड। So now you will never forget now what is turgidity. टर्जिड बोलेंगे तो बैलून याद करना जिसमें पानी भरा हुआ है, ठीक है? That is turgidity. So due to endoosmosis, what did I say? What is endo? Endo is coming inside. Osmosis is entry of water. So due to the entry of water inside the cell, development of turgidity takes place. है ना? Thin, elastic, and young cell walls expand and it's several times of its original length. तो जो उनकी ओरिजिनल बलून भी देखो बेटा, इतने छोटे होते हैं, पानी भरने के बाद इतने ऐसे लंबे बन जाते हैं वो, है या नहीं? सेम, सेम। The first event in the cell elongation is plasticization of the cell wall due to hormones like auxin. अब ये plasticization क्या होता है? Plasticity से ये वर्ड डेवलप हुआ है। What do you mean by plasticity? Elasticity. Plasticity means elasticity. You can bend it, you can squeeze it, they come again back to normal. That is the speciality of the cell wall, due to due to which the cell elongates. वो फटता नहीं है, वो डैमेज नहीं होता है। देखिए बलून देखिए बेटा, इतना छोटा है, but due to plasticity it can elongate. Correct? In the same way, here also the cell wall is showing plasticity, that is capacity to undergo expansion. And this plasticity is conferred due to the presence of the hormone called as auxin. Okay? So auxin helps in plasticization of the cell wall. Okay? Then cell enlargement manifests itself in the visible sign of growth, that is increase in size and weight of the organ or the whole plant. So, जैसे ही cell enlarge होता है, it will result into what? Growth. You can see the plant का growth taking place because the cells are elongated. Eventually, when all the cells will elongate, that entire plant will be seen as a growing structure. Correct? Thus, there is marked difference between the small, rich protoplasmic cells of the meristem and the large vacuolated cells resulted from cell enlargement. So, सबसे पहला कौन सा साइन है कि से प्लांट ग्रो हो रहा है? तो सेल एनलार्जमेंट इज द साइन that cells are enlarging, therefore the plant is growing. Got it? And the third and the last phase is cell differentiation. You know what is differentiation? Differentiation, de-differentiation, de-differentiation. उसका ही differentiation है. See, cell enlargement finally leads to the development of specialized cells such as fibers, tracheates, vessels, tubes, Koch cells, collenchyma, sclerites, etc. These words all are known to you all, right? So once they attain a permanent shape, size, and function, we call it to be undergoing differentiation. ठीक है? Change in shape takes place in fibers, tracheates, vessels, etc. The cells of this zone attain their maximal size in terms of wall thickening and protoplasmic modifications. That means lignin deposition will start, protoplasm will now eventually vanish, few tubes will lose their nucleus. All these things are going to take place in cell differentiation. Deposition of cutin and suberin occurs in the Koch cells. You know, cutin and suberin are waxy substances. है ना? Loss of nucleus and other cell organelles takes place in the few tube. In parenchymatous cells, the entire protoplasm remains alive and functional, due to which it can regain the capacity to undergo one more meristematic tissue का formation. है ना? In this phase of maturation, cells start maturing and becoming permanent. Okay? The time interval, this is important. The time interval between the formative phase and the maturation phase is called as GPG, that is grand period of growth. ये क्वेश्चन आपके बोर्ड एग्जाम में आंसर इन वन सेंटेंस का फेमस क्वेश्चन है. In your 12 board papers, they give you this question for 1 mark. Explain GPG. So you are ought to write 2 points. First point, GPG is grand period of growth. First point. Second point is, it is the time interval between the formative phase and the maturation phase. Second point. So for 1 mark question, you have to write 2 points. For 2 mark question, you have to write 4 points. Did you get me? So one sentence bolte hain, answer in one sentence, but you are expected to write 2 lines. So which are the 2 sentences that I'm going to write? First is the full form of GPG and second is the definition of GPG. Is it okay? So formative phase means what? Cell division phase. Okay. Maturation phase means what? Cell differentiation phase. So the time period between the formative to the maturation is going to be called as GPG. Is it okay? Not understood वाला कुछ है? Go through it. I'll have water तब तक. तुम लोग भी मेरे जैसा पानी का बोतल लेके बैठो. मैं देखो कितना पानी पीती हूँ. ये 1.5 लीटर्स का पानी पूरा आपके लेक्चर में खत्म होना चाहिए. 2 घंटे में इतना पानी सबने कंज्यूम करना चाहिए. From tomorrow onwards, carry this bottle with you like this. बड़ा वाला. Doubts देखो कुछ है क्या? No doubt. Move ahead. Now, next is distribution of growth. ये देखो, this point is very important, that how the growth is distributed. Is it equally distributed or is it unequal? Is it going to be seen only in specific areas or is it going to be seen everywhere? Is something that we're going to talk about. Okay? The growth of plant is not ordinarily uniform throughout the entire organism, but it's concentrated in specific areas, and it's going to be characteristic areas which we call them as growth zones or aphysis, right? This can be demonstrated by an experiment originally performed by von Sack in the middle of the 19th century. So Julius von Sack करके जो अपने photosynthesis में आपने ये नाम सुना है, history of photosynthesis में you have heard about this word von Sack. So he was the one who has performed this experiment to prove that growth is not uniform. How did he do this? A growing radical from the bean seeds about 2 centimeters in length is marked off into zones of equal length with non-toxic materials such as India ink. समझ लो, आपका स्प्राउट हो रहा है ना, स्प्राउट, मूंग स्प्राउट, यू कैन टेक दैट, या बीन स्प्राउट ले लो, उसमें से जो व्हाइट कलर का एक वो एक्सटेंशन बाहर आता है ना, उस व्हाइट एक्सटेंशन को हम कहते हैं रेडिकल. अब ये रेडिकल के ऊपर एक इंक कॉल्ड एज इंडियन इंक व्हिच इज नॉन टॉक्सिक, वो प्लांट को हार्म नहीं करेगा. ओके, इंडियन इंक नाम का एक इंक आता है, उससे इक्वल डिस्टेंस पे मार्किंग कर दो लाइन से. टेक अ रूलर, अ स्केल एंड स्टार्ट मार्किंग इक्विडिस्टेंट जोन्स विद दैट पर्टिकुलर मार्कर. ठीक है, तो आपने क्या किया, ये जो रेडिकल बाहर निकला है लंबा वाला, उसके ऊपर आपने इक्वल डिस्टेंस पे लाइन से मार्किंग कर दी. हियर आल्सो डन द सेम थिंग. Okay, what will happen eventually? What was his observation? See, it was equal distance. It was equal distance. That is the most important point over here. Now, after ink has dried, the seedlings are placed on moist blotting paper in a petri dish. You know what's a blotting paper? उसमें क्या किया गया, उसमें पानी डाला गया ब्लॉटिंग पेपर पे, और ये सीड्स को उस ब्लॉटिंग पेपर पे रखा गया. ओके, so moisture उसको मिलता रहे. The intention was to get the moisture, right? After the organ has grown for a period of time, it is found that marks are no longer equidistant. Fine. So you can see from this diagram, ये देखो, these lines were equidistant. So ये जो marking किया है, they were equidistant. But when that radical grew further, look at the gap. Look at the gap over here. ये कितना बड़ा हो गया, ये और भी बड़ा हो गया, ये थोड़ा छोटा, ये थोड़ा छोटा, और ये वापस इक्विडिस्टेंट है ना. ये जो मार्किंग है, दिस इज इक्विडिस्टेंट. बट हियर सी द सेम थिंग्स, here they were equidistant, but here you can see a gap. So that clearly shows that that is the zone which is undergoing maximum elongation. Correct? From the distance between each pair of marks, the growth rate of the part of the organ may be determined. It is noticed that most rapidly growing portion of the root is located at some distance behind the tip. Can anyone justify this sentence to me? The last sentence कोई मुझे explain करेगा क्या? The rapidly growing portion of root is located at some distance behind the root tip. Why? Would anyone like to, even if it is wrong, it's okay, no problem. You know. Just try to tell me the answer to this. Who would like to answer? Meristematic zone will be in the root tip. Meristematic zone will be in the root tip. They are saying that growing portion is just behind the root tip. Why? Growth zone in the middle का मतलब क्या होगा बेटा? Which is that zone? Which is that zone which is showing the markings to go away from each other? हाँ, वेरी गुड स्नेहा. स्नेहा सिंह, परफेक्ट आंसर बेटा, है ना? No, meristematic region will be at the root tip. It is behind the root tip. So which is the region? The zone of elongation. So because the two cells जब छोटू थे तो साथ में थे, उनके मार्किंग इधर और इधर आ गए थे. अब ये सेल क्या हो गया? It underwent elongation. तो ये दो मार्किंग इधर का इधर चला गया, इधर का इधर चला गया. You understood this? Okay. You take a rubber band. Okay. उस rubber band के ऊपर you put equal markings and then you stretch the rubber band. What will happen? जो दो लाइंस बिल्कुल एक दूसरे के करीब थे, अब वो elongation के वजह से दूर चले गए. So it's going to be what? The zone of elongation. Therefore, they are saying wherever there is going to be elongation taking place, the growth will be maximally seen. Got it? Understood? So this was the experiment done by Sachs using India. See, distribution of growth in a growing bean root. The extreme left growing root tip has been marked into 10 equal zones. ये वाला 10 equal zones. From the elongation of each zone, the distribution of elongation along the length of the root can be determined. Here you can see the length of the root, it can be determined. This is the zone of elongation, है ना? तो ये है अपना root tip, ये है zone of elongation. This pattern is plotted in the curve at the extreme right. So this is how they have plotted it. That is increment of the growth कैसे हो रहा है उन्होंने बताया है कैसे. ठीक है? So that is the distribution of growth. If we express graphically, the relation between the distance of a particular zone from the apex to the root and the rate of growth of this zone, a curve shown is obtained. Here you can see, here, this is the generation number and this is the cell number. ठीक है? और ये क्या है देखो, logarithm of cell number. तो ये मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन है, टेंशन ना लो, ये इजी है, मैं बताती हूँ कैसे समझना है. Generation of number means what? Initially it is a slowly growing phase and then it becomes very fast. Okay, so cell number पहले एक है, फिर दो, फिर तीन, फिर चार, लेकिन टाइम देखो सेल नंबर कैसे जा रहा है. ये एक जनरेशन है, ये सेकेंड जनरेशन, मतलब एक से दो, दो से चार, चार से आठ, आठ से 16, 32, 64, ऐसे होता है, डबलिंग होता है, we call it as doubling, है ना? So here the cell number is increasing. See, it has become फोर्थ जनरेशन में ये 400 के करीब चले गए हैं एंड फिफ्थ जनरेशन में दे आर अराउंड 500, सिक्स्थ जनरेशन में दे आर अराउंड 800, सेवेंथ जनरेशन में दे आर अराउंड 1200. यू गेट मी? कैसे जा रहा है? and this is the log of the cell number. Log of the cell number means we plot it with a graph, not with respect to generation number as such. डायरेक्टली 2 से 4, 4 से 8, 8 से 16, ऐसा हम लोग यहाँ पर प्लॉटिंग करते हैं. सो सी, इफ यू सी द नंबर ऑफ log of the cell number, it's going to be equidistant, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. तो ये एक log होता है. ठीक है? So this is the graph which has been graphically explained by the scientist at that time. Okay, look at this one. This is your formative phase, that is cell division phase. This is your cell enlargement phase, that is your exponential phase. Then this is your maturation phase, which is your stationary phase. So this has been explained using the graphical expressions. ठीक है? That's all with your growth is indeterminate, determinate, is it uniform, is it not uniform, that is done over there. Fine. अब आते हैं ग्रोथ रेट्स पे. ग्रोथ रेट, ये इसके ऊपर मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस दिखाई देंगे आपको. I don't want anyone of you all to go wrong in this. Please pay attention to whatever is being said. Okay. First point. Growth can be measured by different ways. The degree of complexity of a plant can be ascertained by noting the time of appearance of leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. Okay. When the roots will come, when the leaves will come, when the flowers will come, when the fruits will come. ये जो है ये growth rate से पता चलता है. Faster is the growth rate, faster is the development. Slower is the growth rate, slower is the development. Okay, so see, the expression of increased growth per unit time is called as growth rate per unit time. Now that unit time could be in minutes, it could be in hours, it could be in days, it could be in months. That doesn't matter. 10 days में कितनी growth हुई है ना, 1 month में कितनी growth हुई, 24 hours में कितनी growth हुई. So that unit time can be any unit time, therefore it's given as unit time. Fine. So the expression of increased growth per unit time, that unit time is not mandatory to be hours, minutes, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, कुछ भी हो सकता है, specific नहीं होता है. Growth rate can show two types of increase. First, arithmetic increase. Second, geometric increase. Let us see what is arithmetic. Here, after mitosis, only one daughter cell continues to divide. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया, याद है आपको? Reproduction in humans हमने चैप्टर किया था, in which I had explained spermatogenesis. In spermatogenesis, I had explained something called as A and B. Do you remember? Spermatogenesis में हमने A and B ऐसे दो cells देखे थे. A was continuously undergoing cell division while B was undergoing cell differentiation. याद है आपको? हाँ, type A, type B, correct. Same thing. So now listen to this what I am saying, okay? This is one cell. One cell will divide into two daughter cells, okay? One daughter cell will go on increasing in size and become permanent. The other will further undergo cell division. Again, it will form two daughter cells. Again, out of the two daughter cells, one will get differentiated, the other will be meristematic. So this type of growth is called as what? Arithmetic growth, wherein whatever number of cells have been grown, half of them will undergo, or one of them will undergo cell division, the rest will undergo maturation. Okay, look at it. So one daughter cell continues to divide, the other takes part in differentiation and maturation. Example, root elongating at a constant rate. Here, a linear growth curve is obtained with value. Okay. Arithmetic growth is a type of growth in which the rate of growth is constant and the increase in growth takes place in arithmetic progression, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What is common in them? What is common in them? The cell growth is increasing only by 2. 2 के 4 बने, यहाँ पर डबल हुआ, लेकिन 4 के 8 नहीं बने, 4 के 6 बने. ठीक है? So constancy is maintained. Only 2 new cells are being formed. This is called as arithmetic expression. Okay? It is expressed by the expression of LT is equal to L naught plus RT. What is LT? L is length at time t, that is LT. L naught, L0 या L naught, length at time 0. R is the growth rate or elongation per unit time. LT is equal to L naught RT. ये एक्सप्रेशन याद रखिए, आज तक कोई भी एग्जाम में इसके ऊपर न्यूमेरिकल्स नहीं आए हैं. They have not asked numericals, but they have asked arithmetic growth can be expressed in the terms of dash. So arithmetic growth can be expressed in the terms of LT is equal to L naught plus RT. LT is the length at time t. L naught is the original time, that is 0. R is rate of growth. Okay. So remember this expression, no numericals will be asked. You don't have to substitute the values. ऐसा आज तक कोई numerical नहीं आया है बेटा. ठीक है? Yeah, what is your doubt? They are in the multiple, yeah, they are in the multiples of, exactly. Correct? Now look over here in this diagram, you can very clearly see the arithmetic growth. These are the two cells. है ना? Right? Out of the two cells, one is becoming permanent. So it is growing in size. Right? While this is undergoing division. So एक के दो सेल बने, ये देखो बेटा, है ना? अब दो में से ये जो एक है, it will continue to divide while this has again become permanent. Okay? So ये एक ने डिवाइड किया, इसलिए ये दो बने. अगेन ये दो में से ये बना परमानेंट, ये मेरिस्टेमेटिक रहा. तो देखो कैसे एडिशन हो रहा है. ये एक सेल है, एक के दो सेल बने, दो के तीन बने, तीन के चार बने, एक एक ऐड हो रहा है. Got it? So this is called as arithmetic type of cell division. Any difficulty in understanding arithmetic increase? कोई डिफिकल्टी है बेटा ये समझने में? हाँ, ये ग्राफ भी देखो, ये देखो 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, दो दो की इंक्रीज दिखाया है. So that is what they are saying. Okay, this is the time, this is the height. This is how it has been expressed. Any problem? Anything that you have not understood in arithmetic growth curve? समझा? पक्का? एक्सप्रेशन याद रहेगा, LT is equal to L naught plus RT. तो arithmetic होने के बाद the second one is geometric growth curve. Let us see what is geometric. ये उल्टा easy है. Geometric is very simple. जो सच में समझने में फटाफट आ जाएगा. So geometric growth, the rate of growth varies in different species and in different organs. In certain species of plants such as cacti, the rate of growth is exceedingly slow. Cactus में slow होता है. In many plants, the growth rate is phenomenally rapid. Example, young leaf sheath of banana grows for a time at the rate of almost 3 inches per hour. Look at the growth rate. 3 inches per hour. Banana ka leaf sheath. Okay. Then growth begins very slowly. Then it enters a period of rapid enlargement, following which it gradually decreases till no further enlargement occurs. The mathematical curve which represents this variation in growth rate is somewhat flattened S-shape, or it's called as sigmoid growth curve. Geometric growth curve कैसे होता है? देखो, ये दो है सेल्स, दोनों के दोनों सेल डिवीजन कराते हैं to make 4. All 4 will again undergo cell division to form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32. So they all are undergoing what? Cell division only. They are not undergoing cell differentiation. This is your geometric growth. Okay, this is your geometric growth. एंड ज्योमेट्रिक ग्रोथ कर्व का ये एक्सप्रेशन है, ये जो ग्राफ है, जैसे उधर हमें एक लीनियर ग्राफ मिल रहा था, इधर ऐसे नहीं होता है, ये सिग्मॉइड कहते हैं हम इसको, या एस शेप कहते हैं. सी, दिस इज द लैग फेज. लैग फेज मतलब क्या? स्लो ग्रोथ. फिर एकदम से ग्रोथ बढ़ जाती है, विच इज एक्सपोनेंशियल. देन इट विल गो डाउन बिकॉज नाउ द न्यूट्रिशन इज ओवर और द कंडीशंस आर नॉट फेवरेबल और व्हाटएवर इट इज. So lag period followed by log period followed by steady state. Steady state means now it will not grow, it will not die. It's in a steady state. That is called as stationary phase also. So lag period or slow growth period. Log period या exponential growth period. स्टेशनरी फेज या स्टेडी स्टेट कहते हैं। ये 3 फेजेस होते हैं ज्योमेट्रिक ग्रोथ में, ठीक है। दिस इज मोर प्रैक्टिकल, ओके। सेम दैट वी सॉ जस्ट नाउ, वही उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन है। द एनालिसिस ऑफ ग्रोथ कर्व शोज दैट इट कैन बी डिफरेंशिएटेड इनटू 3 फेजेस: lag, exponential, stationary. The rate of growth is slow in the lag phase, lagging behind, slow होना. More time is needed for little growth. Log phase, the exponential phase, the growth curve becomes more and more rapid. And the exponential phase, it will reach at its maximum value. Peak value पे चला जाता है, इतना fast growth चला जाता है वो. Then it comes under the steady phase or stationary phase. When the nutrients become limiting, growth will slow down, indicated by the maturity of the growing systems. So we say now they have achieved the maturity. The rate of growth can be measured with area of an organ of the plant, और लीफ के लिए हम लोग लीफ का एरिया मेजर कर सकते हैं, फ्लावर का साइज, फ्रूट का साइज मेजर कर सकते हैं इन अ गिवन यूनिट टाइम, ओके। So in a given unit time, again as I said, it could be any unit time, okay. The rate of growth is also called efficiency index. Rate of growth is also called efficiency index. With what efficiency the growth is taking place is called as efficiency index. This word has been asked in your exams several times. So do not forget the word efficiency index, okay. S curve of the individual cell or the tissue or the organ may not be synchronous. That is, not the same phase will be seen in the entire plant at the same time. One cell may beat stationary phase, other may just enter the log phase. Individual organs अलग अलग तरीके से ये cell growth दिखाते हैं. The exponential growth curve can be expressed by the equation W1 is equal to W naught e to the base RT. Okay, logarithmic base कहते हैं ना हम लोग e. So E stands for base of the logarithms, natural logarithms. So W1 is the final size, weight, height, number, final size. W naught is the initial size, R is the growth rate, T is the time of growth, E is the base of natural logarithm. So arithmetic growth was expressed as LT is equal to L naught plus RT, while the exponential growth or geometric growth is expressed as what? W1 is equal to W naught ERT. इधर प्लस साइन नहीं है, इसमें प्लस साइन नहीं है, इसमें नेचुरल लॉगरिथम बेस ई इंक्लूड करा गया है. So be careful with these expressions. Again, numericals नहीं आने वाले हैं, but expressions पूछे जाएंगे, ठीक है. Blackman in the year 1919 suggested R might be used as a measure for the ability of the plant to produce new plant material called as efficiency index. So same thing, that is the rate of growth can be determined or can be called as efficiency index. Thus, final size W1 depends on the initial size W naught. Final size एंड इनिशियल साइज में कंपैरिजन करना होता है, ठीक है. तो वो क्या कंपैरिजन है, वो कैसे कंपैरिजन किया जाता है, वो आगे आएगा. ये ज्योमेट्रिक एंड अरिथमेटिक में कोई डिफिकल्टी है तो देखो, कम ऑन टेल मी. arithmetic growth rate and geometric growth rate. Come on, quickly look at the slide and tell me. Got it? समझा? Sure. Same graph है. That is, this is the arithmetic growth curve which is found at equal distance, multiples of 2 wala. This is exponential growth curve, that is assuming that the parameters will never go down. ये एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ कर्व होता है, पॉपुलेशन साइज जैसे हमेशा बढ़ती रहती है, और ये लॉजिस्टिक ग्रोथ कर्व है. लॉजिस्टिक मीन्स इट्स एक्चुअली लॉजिकल. पहले ग्रोथ इज स्लो, फिर एकदम ज़्यादा हो जाती है और फिर स्टेडी हो जाती है. ओके, so these are the three graphs that you cannot forget. One is the arithmetic growth curve, this is the exponential growth curve, and this is the logistic growth curve. Okay. Quantitative comparisons between growth of living systems can be done by the following methods. ये जो absolute growth curve है और relative growth curve है, इन दोनों के लिए calculations है. तो ये calculation वाला part मैं आज नहीं ले रही हूँ. I'll stop for today and we can continue with this chapter in the next class. Fine. So I've explained about the overall plant growth. The name of the chapter is plant growth and development. तो ग्रोथ का पार्ट ऑलमोस्ट खत्म होने को आया है, डेवलपमेंट का स्टार्ट होने वाला है, बट स्टिल जो थोड़ा बहुत ग्रोथ का पार्ट बचा है, दैट विल डू इट इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. इवन आई हैव गॉट अ लेक्चर फ्रॉम 10. मुझे भी 10 बजे से सेकेंड लेक्चर है, सो आई विल स्टॉप फॉर टुडे. फाइन. आई होप यू ऑल हैव फॉलोड दिस. ये बोर्ड का है, ये बोर्ड का है, बोर्ड का आने वाला है, तो डू नॉट निग्लेक्ट इवन अ सिंगल वर्ड ऑफ इट. ओके, यस, गॉट इट. चल, सी ऑल, बाय बेटा, सी ऑल, हैव अ नाइस डे.